Good day, I'm Marina Kim and these are the latest news from Kazakhstan. Arrested for buckets and swabs, Almaty police have detained 5 journalists of the Respublika newspaper who organized unusual protest action in front of the city court. 9 inmates of the Akmala regional prison have cut their stomachs open protesting against the detention conditions. Over 300 illegally dismissed workers of the Kazakh gold mining company asked the authorities for help. The subway construction workers are striking in Almaty as they have not been paid for already 3 months. This is all on the background of authorities' optimism to launch the first line of Almaty metro quite shortly. As we found out, the company's security officers have used force against the protesters. We'll follow up on the situation. Kazakh Supreme Court Justice Musabek Alimbekov has got new assistants. 5 journalists of the Golos Respubliki, the Voice of the Republic newspaper, including its editor-in-chief Tatyana Trubacheva, decided to clean up the court from injustice and lawlessness. However, the anticipated clear-out was cut short immediately. Journalists were arrested.
4 journalists of the Golos Respubliki newspaper, led by the chief editor Tatyana Trubacheva, had attempted to clean the Kazakh judicial system. They took mops and emerged near the building of Almaty City Court. Every participant of the action had a picture of Zhanna Baytelova on their t-shirt, who was arrested for 10 days for throwing manure on the court building. The action participants were immediately met by the police. Why are you trying to arrest me with the mob? Maybe I came here to look for a job. The chief editor of the Golos Respubliki, Tatyana Trubacheva, was able to give an advice to the judges. I think if the course will continue to go to such an extremes, people will no longer use manure but bulletproof cars. This is why they should carefully think about the clean-out amongst themselves. We can even leave our mobs to them, so they will maintain only professionals who will give legal verdicts and not politically motivated ones. All 5 action participants were taken to the district police station for report drawing over an administrative violation. Lawyer Sergei Utkin, who was present during the detention, is confident that the police actions are illegal. Police officers have no right to detain a person for 3 hours, but the colonel thinks that he has this right to arrest anybody for no reason. Baytelova's supporters were unable to help her during the court hearing over her appeal. 2 hours after the trial over Baytelova, the Inter-District Administrative Court has held a hearing over her creative colleagues. Deputy Editor-in-Chief of the newspaper Oksana Makushina warned Almaty judges that this is only the beginning. By my action, I wanted to urge the judges to pay attention to their verdicts, as they should be legal so that they don't spot their professional status. Judge Arman Turgunbayev was not inspired by the speech of Makushina. Every journalist was fined for $143 for the conduction of unsanctioned rally. Editor-in-chief Trubacheva was not able to participate at the court hearing for personal reasons. She will be in court on August 11th.
Just 2 hours after journalist's arrest, Zhanna Baytelova was convoyed to the city court for a trial. The defense, represented by Zhanna's lawyer Bayan Nusubekova, had inquired to cancel the resolution of the previous instance court, which had ordered for a 10-day arrest. According to Zhanna, she didn't do any hooliganism. Moreover, she claimed the court was unjust in its decisions. However, Justice Kanat Maldashev didn't seem to be convinced with Baytelova's arguments.
The resolution of the Almaty City Specialized Inter-District Administrative Court dated August 4, 2010 on Baytelova Zhanna remains unchanged and the appeal unsatisfied. Baytelova didn't seem to be upset upon the verdict, saying she didn't really hope for a miracle and therefore knew such outcome was inevitable. After the trial, Zhanna told reporters about her detention routines. She wasn't provided with hygiene stuff on the day of arrest, and packages passed by her colleagues didn't arrive to her. Other than that, she doesn't have more complaints. Zhanna even told she liked the compote served at the prison, although the oatmeal she gets served may be used as a facial mask only. Otherwise, journalist doesn't regret, except for worthlessness of 10 days she has to spend in the detention center. Well, it is not that fun to sit under arrest for 10 days and do nothing, switching the lights, laying and spitting on the ceiling. Would be great if there were some community works, for example, cleaning up the riverbanks from rubbish or sweep out the streets together with all arrested. That way we would have been more useful to society.
In the meantime, oppositionist Yermek Narymbayev, who has been sentenced to 4 years of imprisonment, seems to have a chance for a new verdict. Today, the city court will review the appeal on Narymbayev's case. Leader of the Arman Mortgagers Committee is charged with resistance to police authority and criminal contempt, although there is no witness to confirm it.
Yermek Narymbayev is charged with organization of a May Day demonstration when representatives of various public organizations gathered in the street for a peaceful rally. However, the column of demonstrators was blocked by police. As a protest against police action, a number of activities, including Narymbayev, launched a hunger strike and were eventually detained for 15 days. Later, the opposition's charges were changed to more serious, including the criminal contempt and resisting to police, for which got sentenced to 4 years of imprisonment on June 23rd. Narymbayev's supporters claim that his case was politicized. This is not a criminal but more a political case for 100%. I am saying it because I attended every trial and know Yermek as a person with stiff position who really cares about people and country. And most importantly, he's a person who dares to speak out like no others. So they ordered to imprison him.
6 more inmates of the Akmala Regional Prison number 166/25 were hospitalized yesterday. Total 9 convicts of the mentioned colony have conducted self-mutilation act on Monday night. Medical workers claim the conditions of the convicts are stable. The penitentiary system's officials told reporters that this happened because of the fight between the inmates, some of whom then cut their stomachs open.
A special commission led by the deputy prosecutor of the region is investigating the situation in the prison number 166/25. Over the telephone interview, the spokesman of the Kazakh Penitentiary Systems Committee, Galimjan Hasenov, told that lately convicts started striking over the routine plan way often. The conflict in Akmola colony was provoked by unwillingness to follow the new regulations of the prison administration. This is a violation of the day plan. I made an example when some refused to go to the kitchen, while others refused to do the fatigue duties and instead they want to play cards. When some loses to others, they fight and kill each other. It is not a kindergarten. We're dealing with criminals here.
Mothers of 3 convicts who come to Astana from Taraz demand the audience of the Kazakh General Prosecutor. They claim their children who were charged with murder are not guilty. The case has lasted for already 3 years. During this time, there were many mistakes in the court protocols, including the loss of physical evidences.
According to one of the convicts' mother, Irina Chifina, the case and expertise files were forged while the trial was conducted with numerous violations, as the judge didn't examine all of the witnesses and rejected to review the appeal. Moreover, says Irina, convicts were subjected to torture during investigation. The court had sentenced 3 young men to terms varying from 7 to 10 years. Last week, convicts' mothers organized a protest against injustice by handcuffing themselves to the fence of the Taraz city court building. They were immediately arrested by police. I asked to avoid the sentence, which is totally proofless. Even if they turned our case to the National Security Committee, they would have done a better job in investigating it. They need only 1 month for that.
The major gold mining company Kazakh Gold, which is also known as most controversial enterprise in the gold mining industry, started mass staff reductions. Ex-employees claim that the dismissals are illegal and groundless. An initiative group consisting of 10 workers came to the public reception of the ruling Nuratan party in Astana to complain about their situation.
More than 300 workers of the Kazakh Gold Company were illegally dismissed as number of minefields and expeditions are being closed in the region. Ex-workers of the company claim situation has worsened with arrival of Russian Polus Company, which now owns the majority of Kazakh Gold shares. Salaries were decreased from 1,500 to 300. Social guarantees were cancelled. Today, the workers' initiative group came to ruling party's office in Astana seeking for help. No one had talked to us or explained us what happened, what should we do, where to go. We were working as usual, but when the new management came, they fired us all. The workers were received by the parliamentarian Aldan Smailov, representing the ruling Nuratan party. Smailov was surprised as parliamentarians weren't informed about the situation around Kazakh Gold. He promised that a special commission will be created in September and the company will be subjected for inspection. We should negotiate this issue between the current management of the Kazakh-Altyn, trade unions and also talk to the local administration heads. Residents of regions where the mine fields were closed and workers were laid off demand to restore their jobs and benefits. Moreover, they demand to change the management. In case if their demands will not be fulfilled, workers intend to go for extreme measures. In a number of villages, all residents of which make living only thanks to the gold mining companies, the social tension is growing.
A self-proclaimed republic was formed in the territory of Kazakhstan, which is fully ruled by children from 12 to 18 years old. Such model of democracy was moved to Kazakhstan from neighboring Kyrgyzstan because of the recent events. The possible prototype of a future state, the Evergreen Republic, which has been successfully practiced in Kyrgyzstan for 13 years, now in Kazakhstan. Next report has all details.
There's no other better place if you're one of us. Central Asian pupils are being taught the democratic principles and are building a fair country in a summer camp Evergreen near Almaty. Everything looks real there, with the president, parliament and the constitution. They even have their own currency, the green, and they have to be earned. The country Evergreen is a fair and has equal opportunities for all with no corruption. The political leadership of the Evergreen is elected by voting. When we had a referendum and we were thinking which form of governance to choose, I personally chose the mixed form. I think that president without the parliament is not really what we need. This is going to be one warrior on the battlefield. The adults in the camp are called federals as they observe security and conduct creative lessons. Federals say that children keenly react to the international events. Recently, they even held a meeting as citizens were demanding a decrease of prices for food in the store. If the children will see how it all works and understand that every citizen deserves a better life, then all that worked well, and this will bring its fruits back when these children come to power. The cost of living in the Evergreen country is $526 for each individual. From 145 children, only 5 use trip sheets. The rest have gone through a contest selection paid by the Soros Foundation Kyrgyzstan, the ideological inspirer of this children's republic.
These were the main news for now. Thank you for watching us. Goodbye.